Welcome back to American Medicine Today. I'm alongside Ethan Euchre, Jeff Wagstaff, and world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonati. He is worked up and has lots to talk about.
One of the great dangers that we have right now in our democracy is the misinformation. But the misinformation is created because the fundamental organizations, the base of the country, the support of the country, they don't have accountability. The media has a problem of accountability. The FBI has a problem in accountability. The CIA has the same problem, and the DOJ has the same problem. When the media behaves abnormal, initially they behave with a bias. And if nothing happens with a bias and doesn't obtain what they want, they immediately move to propaganda. And if the propaganda doesn't work, they go to deception. They lie and they create a situation that is going to benefit. And together with that one, they also, when they don't start to have the results that they have, or they start to have groups or organizations that they start to fight them against that untrue behavior, they do a suppression. So there's no information for the people. Well, that is what happened. How this start to happen? This started to happen in 1883 when Joseph Pulitzer, who is a communist, came over and bought, New York World was the newspaper at that time. He bought that newspaper and started to create a new ideas of how to make the people really involved in accepting certain solutions and use the press as a power for a political situation together with some type of information. And what he did is he did fake informations in a great big type of how you call big letters on the newspaper. Well, they put large amount of presentations with colors and create immediately a biased information or a propaganda. So they create an issue. That issue produced really a lot of business. And because of that, the media start to imitate that type of a behavior from that time till now. And the problem is getting worse because to be able to control this, we need to have a total different approach. And I am always very clear with a simple approach. And the simple approach is if somebody does something, they need to be responsible. And that right to do something needs to be paid with a responsibility. What we don't have on these institutions, the media, the FBI, the CIA, the DOJ, they are not accountable. And if they are accountable, probably will be, if it is a Republican type of an institution, is going to be accountable. But if it is a democratic type of institution, will not be accountable. And we don't have the proper individuals that represent us. All these Republicans, they need to be removed from power. Everyone who didn't support Trump and everyone who didn't do anything to create a benefit of continue with his presidency, because we know it's a fraud, we know they stole the presidency, but unfortunately, we don't have any support from our own party. If we don't have Republicans that they are going to line up in the same line that the Democrats do, I don't care what is the element that they're going to fight. All the Democrats are there. The Republicans are not. So we need to select different individuals. We need to select warriors. We need to select young people. And we need to get responsible people. And they need to be indoctrinated. What are we going to do why we want to do it, and for what are we doing it. And in that way, when you vote or when you represent something, don't you have these second individuals that they're looking for their own interest and their own behavior and their own way to make money using the politics? These people need to be removed.
Once communism takes a foothold, nobody wants to give up those reins. And it does take kind of a superhero, for lack of a better term. It does take somebody strong enough to stand up to those individuals. And we only have about a handful left in the Republican Party. The rest are corrupt across the board.
This is why the 74 million people that they vote for Trump needs to become one bloc. And this bloc needs to demand information from the people who is going to be representing us. We need to have that information. We need to know where they go, what is the aspirations, what is the elements that they are going to make them come to us or not. If we don't do that one, we will have the same crappy individuals, feeble individuals, and totally irresponsible individuals to the commitment of our party. If we don't do that, we'll continue with the same sickness. I cannot believe the vice president didn't support the president. That to me is unbelievable.
Well, it's certainly a shame. And, they talk about democracy, but we have to remember we're a constitutional republic. Thank you for joining us on American Medicine Today.